Hi guys, this is Snake. I just want to introduce you guys to this brand new series I'm planning to create. This is going to be a perma-death Rimworld playthrough with quite a bit of mods. Obviously, this is going to be themed as a Metal Gear run, so the main character is going to be Snake. I downloaded a few mods that kind of accommodate this playthrough, so I will just show you what kind of mod I'm running, and this part is simply just going to be an introduction. So first things first, mods. We're going to be using, some of the basic stuff. The humanoid alien race is required for us to have other races or faction, I believe, in the game, such as androids, which is something I'm gonna show you in a bit. Jack 2 is a very basic item. Hugs lip, simple sidearm, just a mod that lets you carry multiple weapons. Prepare carefully is definitely required for me to start something like this. I need to be able to create my character the way I want it to be. Nothing too overpowered, just something that I needed to start with. Centralized climate control, very self-explanatory. Work tab, just a new tab, Fluffy, the author created to make things a lot easier for you to manage. RO hair, just some, more hairstyle. Expanded prosthetic, very self-explanatory again. Where is rich soil? This is very important to me because visually it's hard to sometimes find out where the rich soil is at, and this mod really helps visually at least. Good night, just a mod for more beds, more furnitures. Medical tab, extra tab to help you manage your game. Animal tab, same thing. Rim fridge. Now this is something some people say could be considered a little bit overpowered, but personally I just find it utility wise is very helpful because you have the utility to be able to build yourself a fridge, let's say 1x1, 1x2, 4x4, etc. This way you can easily manage your dining room, etc. It's just much easier. I don't think it's too overpowered because it's not that big of a deal. It just gives you like a spot to put your food at. Hospitality, it's a mod created by Orion. It's a way to, you know, recruit more pawns because I believe the game has a soft cap. What I mean by that is once you reach a certain amount of colonists, the game kind of stops sending you more colonists. In another word, it's more difficult to recruit more. For example, you capture a prisoner in your prison, and I believe the recruit chances to be tremendously lower. Obviously, I haven't really played version 1.0 as much as I used to play this game, so I don't know yet. I don't know if there's any changes that kind of remove this soft cap maybe, but I haven't heard anything about it. So I'm still keeping hospitality in just in case we need to recruit more colonists, because I do want to make this playthrough quite a bit long. That's the at least the final goal. I want to be able to build multiple bases with this playthrough, hopefully, because whenever the main character Snake dies, this playthrough is going to be over. Dub's Bad Hygiene is simply a mod that creates a new need for the colonists. Instead of just the regular stuff, the food, etc. that they require, they also require to go to the bathroom, go to the toilets. So this is something more realistic. You could say it's going to be a little bit more hassle, but I feel like it's just more fun to play with it. I actually played with it in the last version of the beta, so I enjoyed it. So I'm keeping it in. Locks is very helpful. You can lock the door, restrict the door from used by certain individuals, certain visitors or prisoners. You can unlock the door so the prisoner can actually go through it. In another word, you can actually create your own prison, or you can build a prison cells with things that prisoner can do with this mod, so they can go through the door and actually utilize the stuff in the other room without actually designated as a prisoner room. Pharmacist, another tab. Androids, just so you can build your own androids in the future. Once you get rich, you can create more pawns by this way. Now this is the mod I just recently downloaded, strictly for this playthrough, because I want to make a theme that's Metal Gear Solid theme, right? So this is just simply the CQC takedown. I don't know if this is going to be too overpowered. My last test run, it seems it's not too bad because you still have to get close to your enemy to be able to perform this. So there is still a chance that the character gets shot, and he or she might just be one-shotted before you even get a chance to do the CQC. Now, this is the Military Sans Frontiers mod, which is creates a new faction, right? And it's definitely a needed mod for this themed playthrough. More floors, self-explanatory. More furnitures, allow tool. I believe the allow tool is, just a utility that I like to use. It allows you to, unforbidden a lot of stuff. It just makes your life easier in the game. And the other mass skills, I deactivated them because I feel like number one, it's not part of the theme. Number two, I don't want to make some of these overpowered mods into this playthrough. So yeah, that's all the mods I'm going to be using for this playthrough, and I will also be listing them down in the description. Okay, let's start a new colony. As I've said before, we are going to start as the MSF operation. This is, like I said, a new scenario that was created, or I should say came with the mod that I downloaded. So we start with that. We're going to go with Randy Random. I mean, Cassandra is fun when you first start the game, but it's very similar. Every playthrough becomes very similar. With Randy Random, you honestly don't really know what might happen. It could be good, you could be lucky, keep on getting good events, and unlucky. Randy Random's always been my personal choice when I want a fun playthrough. And on top of that, based on my knowledge, unless they change it in 1.0, Randy Random kind of removes the soft cap a little bit. So since it's random, right? So it always has that chance to give you a random pawn, or it always has that chance to proc a certain event that can help you get another colonist. So I always felt Randy Random is the choice for me. I'm not gonna go with Savage because this is gonna be my first legit 1.0 playthrough. So let's just go with rough. Hopefully it's not gonna be too rough, and the playthrough wouldn't be just like one episode, right? And like I said, we're gonna go with the perma-death. So commitment mode, I think, is the new name for the perma-death, or hardcore, so to speak, right? So we're gonna go with commitment mode. No cheating. Any one of our colonists gets shot, their limbs get shot off, whatever. That's it. Which is why I downloaded the prosthetic, limbs or organ mod. So once our colony gets rich, in case any one of our colonists, their limbs get shot off, their heart, their lungs, whatever, have a problem, we can actually replace it with prosthetics. Alright, so let's go, move on to the next phase. Since this is a Metal Gear playthrough, theme playthrough, we're gonna call it Metal Gear. I'm gonna go with 100%. I just like to generate the full globe, so bear with me. It's gonna take a little bit of time. My computer is pretty fast for the most part, but it's still gonna take a little bit of time with 100% generation. So if you're doing a playthrough yourself, playing the game, which I highly recommend. This is a fun game to play. If you love base building, this is the game for you. 30%, 50%, this might be sufficient, but personally, I just enjoy 100%. I just want to see that globe being fully constructed. And oh, I forgot to show you. I did change the setting to the point where I can actually build multiple bases. I believe I maximize it at 5. And I tried it at 2 before. I had a playthrough where I did 2 bases. It's pretty fun. Lot of things to manage. So I want to start with a coastal base, somewhere simple, because I personally don't play a lot of permadeath. I don't want this playthrough to be too hard. Since we already chose the difficulty of a rough, I kind of want to get a easier start, and plus I'm starting with only one character, which is Snake. So let's go with that. I don't think I need the mountain to protect me since we are playing coastal. So we already have one side that's not gonna get invaded, or pawns and enemies not gonna show up from one side of the map. Okay, I do want granite and marble, because granite has been the strongest building blocks in the game. This one's not bad. think I can dig this one. Close to the road. Has limestone, granite, and marble. Limestone is the second strongest material, I think. Um, Temperature-wise, 0 to 33, pretty mild. Kind of like the place I live in. You know, I live in California, so alright. Let's just go with this one. Advanced setting. I like a larger map, just so I can build a bigger base. Starting season, we're gonna have to leave it at auto. And then next, like I said, I already pre-prepared. We're gonna do this Metal Gear theme playthrough, so I have already pre-prepared it. Snake Solo. I made it. You know, big boss. Equipment-wise, I don't think it's too OP. I gave him the non-lethal pistol. Gave him the bed row, so we can start with the bed. 60 component. You know, if you actually check this use limited point, I did not cheat at all. As a matter of fact, I have tons of points remaining. I didn't even use it. So I figured this is a pretty fair, you know, start. Start with 60 rations, you know, 30 medic bag. But I did test it through my test run. I don't think medic bag is the equivalent of medicine. I believe it's a little bit better than medicine. So let's just roll with that. I could be wrong. Let's find out the hard way, I guess. Okay. So the introduction is done. I'm gonna end the part 0 here. Next part will be the actual gameplay of starting this base. So stay tuned, and don't forget to press that subscribe button. Thank you very much.